We're sending $1.3 billion a day out of this country for oil alone when we don't need to. If we keep that $1.3 billion here, that's $500 billion a year. Economists tell us that money will recycle 5 to 10 times. At 7 times, that's $3.5 trillion a year. That solves the problems right there. But also, our tax system is broken. As a tax lawyer, I know the solutions. I know the changes that need to be made to the Bush-Bachmann tax policies to keep us from being trickled on by trickle-down economics. Right now, somebody making $30,000 to $90,000 of taxable income by the sweat and toil of their labor pays 160% of what somebody living off their capital gains and dividends does. We need to change our tax law so that the middle class and working class gets its fair share. I have proposed fair share taxation. I understand taxes. Most members of Congress do not. I say unless you're making more than $300,000 a year, living off your capital gains and dividends, or about to inherit more than $4 million from your mother and father, you cannot afford to vote Republican. Most Republican members of Congress cannot afford to vote Republican. We need to change this. We can solve the basic problem by eliminating our huge expenditures in Iraq, eliminating our $1.3 billion a day spent on oil, and when we recycle that in the economy by creating union and other jobs, especially here in the 6th District and Midwest, by creating windmills, building windmills, we will solve this problem.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, let me say that I think you should listen to Bob when he talks about people making over $300,000 a year. He has more experience with that than I do. There are 3 taxes that I think we need to focus on. Now, one, we need to make absolutely certain that the Bush tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans do not become permanent. We've got to end those tax cuts. They are having the effect of creating the greatest disparities in income that we've seen in our country since the Great Depression. Second, the oil companies in 2007 made $147 billion, and we're still subsidizing them to the tune of billions of dollars every year. That subsidization has got to stop, and that will put new money into our tax system. And then we've got to make sure, right now there are incentives in the tax codes that make it, that encourage offshoring of profits. You've all heard about the mailboxes in whatever foreign country where companies are able to shelter foreign profits for a very special tax rate, a very special deal. We're encouraging the offshoring of jobs, we're encouraging the offshoring of profits, and all of that again is wreaking havoc on our system. And we've got to stop that. We've got to stop those kind of incentives that undermine the stability of our tax system and undermine the stability of our economy and contribute to the $3 trillion of additional debt that this administration has put on our backs and the backs of our children and our grandchildren.